I'd like to call to order public hearing before we start the regularly scheduled meeting tonight. The public hearing is concerning the proposed zoning map amendment. Mr. Rossi, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome. Pennsylvania General Energy Company owns parcel number WN 576763000, located at 120 Market Street, which is currently in the mixed-use zoning district. Company proposes a zoning map amendment, which would reclassify the property to C1 Central Commercial, which is consistent with all of the other properties located on this block of Market Street. C1 designation would allow PGE to proceed with the installation of its proposed wall sign corporate emblem, which exceeds the size parameters permitted under the mixed-use zoning designation. In addition to the proposed C1 zoning designation would provide general or greater flexibility for future use of the building. The City of Warren Planning Commission and the Warren County Planning Office reviewed the application and both recommend City of Warren Council's approval of the zoning map amendment. As required, a hearing notice was placed upon the property, and the legal notices of this hearing and the availability of the proposed ordinance for public review was published in the Times Observer on November 3rd and November 8th. During this public hearing, residents are invited to provide comments regarding the zoning map amendment. Council will consider adoption of the ordinance during the regular meeting immediately following this hearing. Mayor Wortman, I'd also inform you that Lisa McManus is here on behalf of PG&E and would like to address council.
Thank you very much. Just before we get started, real quick, I just want to put out to the audience and those that are on the Zoom. During a public hearing, the council is in basically complete receipt mode in terms of the information being provided and the comments being provided by the public. There won't be any debate relative to this issue during the public hearing. However, since this is on the agenda for the business of the council, that's where any kind of deliberation within the council will take place concerning this matter. So with that, I would invite anybody that would like to address the council and provide additional information on this zoning issue. So Mrs. McManus, please.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of City Council. I thank you for hearing me speak today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lisa McManus. I'm General Counsel at Pennsylvania General Energy. And as Mr. Rossi pointed out, I am here tonight to ask for your approval of the Planning Commission's recommendation to rezone our property at Market Street and 2nd Avenue from mixed use to central commercial. Our building was originally the Market Street Elementary School, as most of you probably know. And then in 2006, PGE adapted this building and made it into our corporate headquarters. So it was an adaptive reuse of an existing building that was no longer being used for its purpose. For nearly 20 years, it has functioned as our commercial office building with a large institutional footprint. Even though we're zone mixed use, the size, architecture, and activity in the building is commercial. The property sits on two heavily traveled streets, 2nd Avenue and Market Street, and we're surrounded primarily by public and commercial uses. To the north is the First Methodist Church. To the west, across Market Street, are several commercial businesses, already zoned C1. To the south are an apartment building and the CVS store, which is also zone C1. And there are two R2 parcels that touch only the back corner of PGE's parking lot, and those are screened with several trees and a fence line. Those are also bordered by C1 properties on their other side. In short, the immediate area already functions as a commercial block. Commercial zoning for property like ours is common in the city of Warren. There are numerous instances: Conowongo Avenue, Hickory Street, Pennsylvania Avenue West, and several other corridors. Rezoning our parcel simply aligns this site with longstanding city patterns and with the existing commercial character of the neighborhood. This request applies only to the parcel on which our building and parking lot sit. As you know, we also own several lots next to that, which are just green space, which we let other organizations nearby utilize for different events. Those we are not seeking to rezone for mixed use. Our use will not change. As I said, we've been operating here since 2006 without any negative impact. Several neighboring property owners submitted letters of support along with our application, which I understand was our submission was given to all of you here. Buffers and screening around the parking lot will remain in place. As you probably all know, PGE is one of the major employers here in the county. Clear and appropriate signage will help to avoid any kind of confusion. Sometimes we have people coming to the building on a semi-regular basis thinking that we're the public library or that we're DeFreeze or that we're someone else, and we don't have any signage that would indicate that we are PGE. We did seek to have a zoning variance for the building to have a sign larger than what is permitted. There's only a 2x3 sign that is permitted in mixed use. And we're 29,000 square feet. So a 6-foot square sign doesn't really work on our building. We know that this is a step-by-step process. We are not seeking approval of any kind of signage tonight, but that is the first step in being able to have a sign that would be appropriate for a building of our size. When we sought the variance is a very high standard. You have to prove an undue hardship, and that's the way our zoning ordinance is written. And so we were not granted a variance. So that's why we took this next step to get the rezoning so that we can help to avoid confusion, support our business visibility downtown, and reinforce the city's commitment to adaptive reuse of historic buildings. Rezoning will ensure that this property's designation matches how it's actually being currently used and how the neighborhood already functions. For these reasons, and consistent with the Planning Commission's recommendations, we respectfully request the City Council approve the zoning amendment from mixed use to central commercial. And when we have the item on the agenda, I would be happy to answer any further questions.
Thank you very much. Is there any other member of the audience that would like to address the council during the public hearing concerning this zoning variance? Is there anybody on the Zoom call that would like to address council concerning this issue? Okay, hearing none. Public hearing is closed. I'd like to open the regularly scheduled meeting of the Warren City Council, November 17th, 2025. You all please rise and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Leary, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Ms. Bodger. Here. Mrs. Casey. Here. Mr. Cashman.
Present.
Mr. Gilbert.
Here.
Mrs. McCain. Here. Mr. Valella.
Present.
Mayor Workman.
Here.
And Ms. Kukowski.
Here.
We have a quorum with 7 council members in attendance.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to inform the public that an executive session was held immediately prior to this meeting for the purpose of discussing potential litigation concerning the provision of ambulance services outside of the city and potential litigation pertaining to the tax assessment appeal process. Thank you. We have a number of visitors here with us tonight, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity, and I appreciate everybody making the time and the effort to be with us tonight. There's a really long list, but I just want to go ahead and thank and welcome everybody to the city council meeting for November. And at this point, I would like to open up to public comment. Anybody that would like to address the council on an issue that is not currently on the agenda. And if you would like to do that, will you please come to the podium and state your name, please? And then love to listen to what you have to say.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Manager, council members, and everyone else. I'm not really good at speaking, so I apologize if I stumble and mumble and stutter. It has come to the attention of many people, and not just in the city, but throughout the county, of people coming together and wanting to rename the 3rd Street Bridge. There are various proposals, and I would like to offer, if it's all right during this time, a proposal to rename it after the Blue Star Mothers of Kinzu, PA 203, calling it the Blue Star Bridge. I had several other ideas, but I went to their breakfast, and actually before their breakfast, I thought, what better way to honor the women who not only some may have served, but some have, they're the mothers of our veterans. I myself am a Marine Corps veteran. I was in during Desert Storm, raised in a small town, no Blue Star mothers there, but my mother definitely was a Blue Star mother. And the importance of Blue Star mothers is that they're not just the mothers of our military active duty and our veterans, but they become the mothers of our friends and our other family members when we're away, when we're stationed overseas, when we are in combat zones. They become that voice, that communication, when our communication might be restricted or nullified, depending on what anybody who's been in the military, what your MOS is, where your station is, where you're stationed permanently or temporarily. And they go above and beyond. There are fundraisers for wreaths. They help feed veterans. They help take care of them, the active duty. And I would sincerely like for you all to take this into consideration, because they are strong, and they stand they stand straight when we are in the combat zones, and yes, maybe not for me when I was in, but when we were, now women and out serve alongside men in combat. And they're the only people that I know of that share our oath that we take when we raise our right hand and swear our allegiance to this country to defend it. And they never waver in that, with whether their child is active duty, becomes a veteran, or unfortunately when they fall. And they must bury their children, but they are mothers to us all. And with that, I would like to introduce you to Skyla Govier. She is here with her husband, 3 of her children, 2 of which are active duty Air Force. And I would like for you to listen to what she says, please.
Thank you very much.
I didn't catch
Thank
your
you.
name.
I'm sorry, Judy Melton. Judy Melton.
And I thought you did very good speaking.
Thank you. And while she's speaking, can I drop my proposal off to you?
Sure. Yeah. And thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Hi, Mayor Portman and City Council, thank you. So Saturday was the first time that I met Judy on the phone. Sunday was the first time I met her face to face, and she had come to me because this is something that she holds near and dear to her heart. In 2019, my children, I'm a mother of 4, 2 of my children, so my 2 youngest left the nest and joined the service. And so I didn't know what to do with myself. So I started researching organizations, and I found the Blue Star Mothers, and we did not have a Blue Star Mother organization in Warren County. And so that I was the founder of that organization in 2019. And through all of that, I didn't realize the need that we really needed for support for military mothers. And so we've grown, and sometimes we shrink depending on if our children are active duty or veterans. But the thing about Blue Star Moms is she's right. You know, we watch our children swear that oath to the country, and we watch them go off to basic training. We watch them go to tech school. We watch them strive and become the best that they can be for our country. And with us, we have survived through 5 deployments, and through it all, my Blue Star mothers have stood with me, and they have encouraged us. And I'm not the only one in the group who has had children deployed, and some of them have been deployed into combat zones during Iraq and Afghanistan, and so they kind of know that firsthand combat. My children also have been on multiple TDYs, but through it all, the Blue Star moms have stood next to me through each and every one of those. And we're just honored that somebody out there in our community has thought of us to be able to have this bridge named after us, possibly. And for that, we thank you, and thank you for listening, and thank you. So
Very much, Stella.
I'm sorry, just one more word. I'm sorry. As you can see in the proposal, I have, we would be contacting Franklin Blacks down in Franklin. Actually, I called them earlier today and left a voicemail message for them. No money would be asked of the city or the county, no tax dollars at all. Yesterday, I had already spoken to a few businesses in town that when I get them to deliver this proposal, they are willing to donate funds towards the plaques. And I say plaques, one for each end of the bridge. And then if that doesn't meet, I will be holding fundraisers at my cost with no money back to me. And so just so you know, we would have it covered, the costs, all of it. And we will be doing, I will be doing a petition with the help of others to show you all the support that is behind these great women. So thank you all so very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, would anybody else like to address the council concerning an issue? Please come to the podium and please state your name.
My name's Joe Perrin. I submitted the original proposal for the renaming. Since then, I've had a lot of very good conversations with a lot of people across the county. I think at last count, I had over 150 people reach out to me. Most of it very positive. There's some not so much, but a lot of people want to have conversations. I stand by what I originally proposed. However, what I would like to do, originally, I wanted to talk with the council, figure out the process. I was having a little bit of a hard time figuring out exactly what needed to be done as far as it to get it to a vote and that. Now, what I would like to know, well, talk to the council about is I would like to, and of course, I'll do all the heavy lifting on this, bring it up, run some kind of a thing throughout the county and see if we can maybe come up with some ideas to put out a memorial, get people involved. My whole goal originally in this was getting people involved, get people kind of excited about getting into their community, getting some people out of their comfort zones. So far, that actually, with a lot of the comments I've been reading, it seems to be going in that direction. I realize there are some people that are not too fond of the individual that I chose, but like I said, I do stand by that. But I also understand there's a lot of people in the county, in the city limits and such, and I think personally, I think the best route would be getting them involved. See if we can make it a community effort. I guess what I would, like from the council, if possible, would be a, kind of a blueprint or a map of, the steps that I would need to take as far as, petitioning or filing, anything like that that would need to be done to make this happen. Or at least get it to the point to a vote. All I have.
Well, I appreciate, and I imagine that we're going to have some additional conversation and folks that are going to want to address on this issue. It's obviously the idea of naming the bridge, and recently, I'd say within the last 2 or 3 years, the Hickory Street Bridge was named the Veterans Memorial Bridge, and there was a process. I don't have that in front of me in terms of what that looks like. However that would transpire, that's certainly not the subject of what we're going to be undertaking tonight. It's not on the agenda. However, again, I think the open conversation in terms of the interest within the community concerning different ideas is absolutely something that we want to take a look at and listen to. But we will staff that and figure out what the process might be, and if there's any future action taken and that along those lines, at least we'll know what kind of a process that would take. But again, I'm just here, and we are here tonight to listen to I think probably a lot of good ideas in terms of engagement from the public concerning possibilities. But thank you. Would anybody else like to address the council concerning this particular issue or an issue that's not currently on the agenda? Mr. Hearn, if you would like to, please come to the podium.
So I don't speak as well as you do. You did a great job. I have to write mine down. Tonight was the first night I met Mr. Perrin, and I have to say, it was a good meeting in the parking lot, and he approached me and wanted to establish an opportunity to talk more. And I think that's one thing that's very important and something that's really hurting, not only in our community, but across our nation. So I really hope that we can open up the lines of communication even more. Mr. Mayor, you mentioned the Hickory Street Bridge. When the Hickory Street Bridge received its new name, the Veterans Memorial Bridge, it reminded our community that bridges are more than just concrete and steel. They carry our memories and reflect what we value. Renaming that bridge was a meaningful moment because it honored the men and women who served, acknowledging how deeply military service is woven into the lives of families here in Warren and Warren County. Whether everyone agreed or not, the intention behind the name grew from gratitude and respect. Many of us today still slip and call it the Hickory Street Bridge, but I am reminded every time I go over that bridge what it is to be called today. That experience also showed us that naming a bridge can stir some very strong feelings. These decisions are not just practical, they touch identity, history, and personal memory. Now conversations have begun around the 3rd Street Bridge. We need that same thoughtful care. If a change is ever made, I believe the new name should honor someone uniquely Warren, someone whose life leadership, or generosity helped shape the spirit of our town. Warren is the home of many distinguished individuals, business people, philanthropists, leaders, and innovators who deserve to be recognized. Our community is rich with stories of everyday people who made extraordinary contributions to what Warren is today. Teachers who shaped generations, volunteers who served quietly and still serve quietly today, local visionaries who strengthened our institutions, and neighbors who show kindness that have left lasting imprints on our lives. If the 3rd Street Bridge ever carries a new name, it should be one of those names, a person or an organization whose legacy already lives in our hearts, because the bridge's name should remind us of who we are, and Warren is at its best when we honor our own. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. Yes, sir. Would you like to come to the podium, please?
Hey, everyone. My name is David Oberg. And I stand before Warren City Council today, not in opposition to a potential naming of the 3rd Avenue Bridge, rather specifically to what it might be named and any person associated to whom it might be memorialized, playing on what Doug just spoke about. This beautiful city has been incorporated since 1795, an era when Philadelphia was still our nation's capital, reflecting a long, proud 230-year tradition of ingenuity, resourcefulness, teamwork, determination, and generosity. The proposal by Mr. Perrin to name the 3rd Avenue Bridge is a wonderful idea, one in which I wholeheartedly support. However, any chosen name or person to be honored or memorialized should reflect an association with and be amongst the many notable figures in our own proud history. For centuries now, men and women have lived and worked throughout the Warren area, contributing vast amounts of beneficial legacies, enduring businesses, philanthropical gifts, some of whom are now forgotten by time, others more well known. Therefore, I would suggest that an open and publicized proposal be put forth to the community as a whole, seeking ideas and suggestions for the naming of or memorializing the 3rd Avenue Bridge. It would be a fun way to combine local history, community involvement, and offer a sense of pride for everyone. As an example, the top 5 suggestions as determined by City Council could be voted on by the public. As Mr. Perrin has so generously offered, he's willing to spearhead a no-cost to taxpayers solution for all funding needed for design, materials, installation, and labor. I'd be more than willing to volunteer my time to assist with the implementation and launch of this potentially unifying community-wide project. And while we're having this discussion, it would also be worth considering similar type projects for other bridges, structures, or properties within and managed by the city, such as 5th Avenue or Penconawongo Bridge, as examples. By embracing a cohesive community-wide effort, guided by mindful planning, our great city could have informative, welcoming, and identifying signs at important crossings that would reflect our shared values with both a nod to our past, along with demonstrating a meaningful commitment to our future. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your consideration for this matter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Ribeiro. I'm a resident of Warren. I also am a professional historian trained in U.S. history, so I'm speaking from that perspective tonight. And I will keep this very brief, but mostly what I want to say is that I think it is very soon to jump to naming a permanent infrastructure feature in our community after someone who's has recently passed and their legacy has yet to sort of sink in and be fully defined. And so I would caution us against any sort of rush to a decision, and also echo some of the recommendations made for a more community involved process that would perhaps reflect people or individuals that have had more local significance to Warren itself. Thank you.
I think, Danielle,
Behind Doug.
Behind Doug.
Yeah. Thank you.
is that Mrs. Boger back there? Would you please,
So is everyone finished on?
would you like to come forward, please?
I'm not comfortable doing this, but it has. My name is Barbara Boger. I live at the Liberty Street West Apartments, in the corner over the Erie Bank at Liberty in Pennsylvania Avenue. And as such, I do have a parking space in the garage. However, lots of times I like to park, I really prefer to park outside. I come home a lot at night, and quite frankly, I do not feel comfortable as an 89-year-old woman in the garage at night. So I park outside. My issue here is that for about 3 years, the parking spaces, the diagonal parking spaces over near the gazebo at Breeze Point have not been, you've been parked there with impunity. Now, within the last couple of months, they've been ticketing. And I did get one, which was forgiven. However, I called Sydney and talked to her about it. I even offered, I said, could I buy a permit for outside? Quite frankly, I'd rather brush snow off of my car than park in the garage at night. I'm just not comfortable. It's scary to me. So anyway, I'm just requesting if, Sydney said that they do not offer permits to individuals. She said the only thing you can do about maybe changing the parking, requesting that they not get those parking spaces is to go to the council meeting. Okay, this is not easy for me, but anyway, so that's why I'm here. I'm just respectfully requesting that maybe those places, which I don't really think anybody shopping uses those spots. I think they're primarily overflow from the condo, because those condos are 2-bedroom, but they only have one parking space. Or for those of us in the apartment who happen to like to park in those spots. So they have been realigned in the last couple of years. However, there are a couple of handicap spots which have been, so anyway, I just respectfully request that you consider maybe not ticketing those areas, those few diagonal parking places ever near the gazebo. So that I can go without getting it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much. And we will take a look at that.
Thank you.
We will.
Yeah. No.
And we will get back to you. Thank you. Would anybody else like to address the council on any item that is not currently on the agenda? Okay, again, I think it's been a wonderful conversation, and I appreciate everybody taking the time to be here with us tonight and share your ideas with us. We will certainly take all the above into consideration. And with that, we will move on to agenda item 3, which is just the motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question, comment, or debate on that? All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed vote nay. Okay, the agenda passes unanimously. Thank you. Agenda item 3B, is there any motion to amend tonight's agenda and the statement for purpose therefore?
Make a motion, we not amend the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question, comment, or debate on that? Okay, all those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed vote nay. That also passes unanimously. Okay, moving on to the approval of minutes, we have in front of us as part of our packet, the October 20th, 2025 public hearing and regular meeting. Mrs. McCain?
So if you look on page 4, the resolution number 3296, the CDBG funding. We had some conversation around, one of the requests was to find out what other types of funding might be available in the future. So I'd like to propose amending the agenda to include that this is a 3-year project, that these funds were allocated in 2024 and now in 2025, and then also requires approval in 2026 to complete the project. As the monies are for economic development, I believe both Mr. Holtz and Mrs. Byler agreed to contact the PA Community Economic Development to determine what other projects would qualify, giving the income restrictions, so that in the future we can make some more informed decisions. So because there's a follow-up action in there, I was hoping to add that to the agenda or to the minutes.
Okay, so we have a motion. Would anybody like to second that?
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to amend that particular meeting minutes to include the actions, the follow-on actions. We could dictate that back to Mrs. Leary afterwards. Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. We need to vote on whether we are going to adopt that to the meeting minutes from October. Any further question, comment, or debate on that? Okay, Mrs. Leary, please call the roll on that one.
Ms. Flasher,
Yes.
Mrs. Casey,
Yes.
Mr. Cashman,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mrs. McCain,
Yes.
Mr. Valella,
Yes.
Mayor Wortman,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now that we have an amended meeting minutes from October, we still need to pass the meeting minutes. So can we have a motion to accept the meeting minutes from October with said amendment?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further question, comment, or debate on the meeting minutes? Okay, Mrs. Leary, please call the roll.
Ms. Flasher.
Yes.
Mrs. Casey,
Yes.
Mr. Cashman,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert.
Yes.
Mrs. McCain,
Yes.
Mr. Valella,
Yes.
Mayor Wortman,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously.
Great, thank you very much. We have a number of correspondence that were sent to the city. We won't dive into the great details of the one. I won't read it verbatim, but Mr. Perrin's letter concerning possibly or the idea of renaming the 3rd Street Bridge to the Freedom Bridge in honor of Mr. Charlie Kirk. That was one of the letters that's part of your council packet. We also have a letter from Mr. Will Champlin, and congratulations on your election to city council, is resigning from his position at the RDA. And then we also have a letter from Mrs. McCain as a business owner with ideas concerning the Midtown lot and how that might be better utilized to facilitate downtown business. That will be added to the December meeting agenda.
Thank
So
you.
that's the third correspondence that is part of your board packet. Okay. So with that, that brings us to the business part of the meeting for tonight. So we will dive into agenda item 6A, the proposed ordinance with the zoning map amendment. Mr. Rossi, please.
Thank you, Mayor Wortman. Please reference the public hearing narrative. The application was reviewed by the City Planning Commission and the Warren County Planning Office, with both bodies recommending council's approval of the proposed zoning map amendment designating the Pennsylvania General energy property as a C1 central commercial zoning district property. Action requested council's consideration and motion regarding the proposed ordinance pertaining to the zoning map amendment. Enclosures included the proposed ordinance and an application packet.
Thank you very much. So with that, specific to this agenda item, is there anybody in the audience that would like to address the council on this agenda item specifically? Okay, is there anybody on the Zoom call that would like to address the council on the proposed zoning map amendment issue? Okay, hearing none, I will turn it over to the floor for the council action or deliberation. Mrs. McCain?
Mayor Warman, I did have a few questions.
Mhm.
So my first question is for Mr. Rossi. So the zoning board would not honor a variance, and so now we're gonna change the code? Is that,
And they applied for a variance. A variance is something that's different than a special exception. When the zoning hearing board, if they were to authorize a variance, then it opens the door for other people in that area to more or less get the same type of a variance. Special exception is a one-time only, which under our current zoning ordinance, a special exception was not available for this. So their next step is, and as Mrs. McCannis spoke about, was then to change this into a commercial district, which will allow them to put in the sign that they're requesting. And if you look at the zoning map as it stands today, that is the only parcel on that block that is still part of mixed use. Everything else is commercial.
so why was a special exception not available?
It just was not part of when our zoning ordinance was set up, it was not part of that when they set it up. I believe planning commissions in the past and city councils in the past wanted to make it harder for this type of development for upper parts of Market Street when you're getting out of the commercial district, when you get closer to like the courthouse and in those areas.
So just, but couldn't, if we grant the variance here, would that not do the same, open up,
No,
Or-
you're not granting a
or
variance.
not a variance, if we change the code, does that not do the same thing as if you had just offered the variance? Does that not open the same door?
No, because you're changing the zone map, all right? So someone further up Market Street would not be able to do that because that would become spot zoning then. They have the ability to do this because they are right on the border of a commercial district. If you were, let's say, one of the real estate offices, for instance, on Upper Market Street, they're not next to a commercial district, so they would not be allowed to do that.
Okay. And then my other question, I think, is for Ms. Stapleford. So if we're just looking at the building and not the green space, how do you separate the two in the zone?
I believe they're separate parcels.
They are.
Yeah, the parcel that was referenced.
Their tax parcel only covers the building, not the vacant green lot.
Okay, so there's
It's a different
three
tax-
separate
there's actually
areas.
different tax parcels.
Okay, I mean, because obviously I'm concerned about the green space. I live across the street. So that would be my concern.
It wouldn't affect, this does not apply to those spaces.
And then the sign will be on, I couldn't tell from the picture, but the sign will be on the front of the part of the building that faces Market Street.
Elevator shaft will be located on the elevator shaft that is on Second Avenue.
Okay,
We're facing the church. Pretty much where their handicap parking, they just installed this.
okay,
But it should also be noted, should also be noted that their entrance to their building is off of that parking lot off of Second Avenue.
right,
And it will be visible from Market Street.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Any additional questions or comments in council?
Make a motion that we approve the zoning map amendment as presented.
We have a motion and we have a second. Any final questions, comment, or debate? Mrs. Leary, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Slasher?
Yes.
Mrs. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Cashman?
Yeah.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mrs. McCain?
Yes.
Mr. Valella?
Yes.
Mayor Whitman?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate everything that PGE does on behalf of your company and for the community. And thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that brings us to agenda item 6B, Warren Works. Presentation, please.
Good evening. I apologize for my dress. I wouldn't typically be this casual. However, I had basketball practice right before this, so apologies for that. We're handing out just something for you guys to reference as I speak. And as you're doing your budget considerations, just document to take a look at when you're doing your final considerations. So, you're all aware we launched about 2 months ago, a little over 2 months ago. And so with that, we've done some various marketing efforts. The goal really out of the gate was brand awareness. It wasn't going to be super hyper targeted. We weren't going to, open the floodgates and pour a ton of money into something that was really going to be an effort around 2 months, seeing that the holidays are pretty much right up against us. And let's be honest, no one's concerned about advertising right around Thanksgiving through the end of the year. So my main goal was to start advertising after the launch through middle of November, and then kind of take a break, regrouping and getting my marketing plan together for 2026. So previously when I was here, I talked about the website. It had just rolled out. So I wanted to provide some general website analytics so far. So these are actually through yesterday. So total views on the website are about close to 5,300 with 3,200 unique users. So that means, we have unique users coming back as a reference point to the website. The total events on the website, which is a really high number, is 36,535. And those total events equal anything from a click to a different page, a video view, downloading something. It tracks everything that goes on the website, which is why it's so high. So we do know that when people are coming on the website, they're taking a lot of action, trying to find out more, trying to play the videos, things like that. So, it's a very active website when visitors are there. The top 5 pages right now are obviously the homepage. That's always going to be your number 1 page, unless you're doing hyper-targeted campaigns and you're taking them somewhere else. Work here, job opportunities. Live here, the Warren Works page, which is nice to see that people are looking into Warren Works and seeing what it's about and getting more information. And then the explore here, things to do. Nothing for me standpoint, surprise, super glad that people are taking the opportunity to look at what jobs we have available, because this is their landing page, and then we're pointing them in the direction that people can go to find what's available in Warren County. The top 5 locations that are coming, obviously Warren's aren't going to be our number 1 location. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, which are 2 high marketing targets that I've been utilizing. Ashburn, Virginia, it's kind of a wild card there. And then Buffalo, New York. So between Buffalo, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh, those are 3 high targeted urban cities. The brand toolkit. So this is something that I'm hoping that kind of as we continue to roll out, talk to organizations, become more collaborative and partnered people will go up. So right now on the website, there's a brand toolkit dedicated page. It has 230 event counts, which means that someone's downloaded the logo, downloaded the brand guide to find out how they can potentially partner with us. And so that for me is a huge deal. It may not seem like a lot, but that means that people are interested in partnering and collaborating with Warren Works. A little bit of an overview of the campaigns that we have ran. So we did streaming video, which will be up this Sunday. From there, that standpoint was a 30-second video around brand awareness, targeting cities, targeting a younger population. From a streaming video standpoint, you can set parameters around special interest, heavy streamers, certain demographics, married, not married, looking to buy a house. So very, very targeted in that standpoint. But the total impressions from that video was 758,431 views, allowing us to reach over 434,000 households. So with that, so I'm one of those people that I'm a heavy streamer. I'll just admit it myself to everybody. However, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't playing the video over and over and over again, because I know that I get super annoyed when I see the same advertisement over and over and over again in the matter of maybe an hour that I'm streaming something. So I limited the views only 5 times to a household every 2 days. Again, just to make sure that, yes, you want them to see it as much as possible. They say 3 times is your trigger, but I didn't want to overwhelm people by seeing the same thing over and over again. I'm also doing a monthly package with Your Daily Local. Again, the same 30-second commercial is shown, and that's a more local, regionalized campaign. They preview it and they show it on their website, as well as their YouTube channel through sports and all the other various broadcasts that they have. It will be running until the 26th, and then we're going to extend it through January. So far, it's been shown on their website 20,247 times, and YouTube 24,030 times. Social media, Facebook and Instagram are the 2 social media platforms I targeted. We had 4 campaigns. A couple campaigns were about visiting the Warren Worx page, finding out more information. The other couple were about taking them directly to the website. Those are 4 completed campaigns. We do have 1 ongoing campaign that's solely just the promotion of the Warren County website. For the completed campaigns, we were able to make the impression of the reels. We had 15-second reels, 206,664 times with 103,000 unique users. So again, those are unique people that may have seen the reel more than once. And from there, over 1,400 actions were taken. So they either clicked on our page to find out more, or were taken to our website. The ongoing campaign that we have now, which is a promotion of the Warren County website, it's running through the end of the year, and then we'll again restart at the beginning of next year, and it'll be an always ongoing campaign. We've had 92,000 impressions, 50,000 unique viewers, and 546 landing page views. So the CTR of that, which is the click-through rate, so that's taking the calculation of views and how many people are actually taking action. It's a 0.8% click-through rate. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but the average benchmark of all industries across social media is 0.9%. So we're really right there around what the actual industry average benchmark is. A little less, but still, that's a really great click-through rate for these types of promotions. As I've noted, and I've told you guys previously when I was here, if there are metrics that you're interested in, especially as we move into 2026, and you'll see in this plan that I'll briefly go over, we will be very hyper targeted in our advertising. And so I really urge you, tell me what you want to know, and I'll make sure I report it, whether it's I just send a report on a monthly basis, I come in, I present to you guys, full transparency here, not hiding anything. So to talk about the 2026 marketing plan, I have it noted, it's based on a $120,000 budget. It'll include both traditional and digital tactics. Digital is probably going to be half of my budget. And when I say digital, I mean social media, Facebook, Instagram. I've also created a TikTok account that will be posting videos and other content about Warren County. Streaming video, which is again what I've already spoken about in a campaign, and programmatic digital ads. So we'll work with an advertising company, and that's where you get hyper targeted with your audience and demographics, and even retargeting the people that have come here, retargeting more ads to them to keep coming back to the website to learn more. Traditional won't be as big. Certainly we want to make sure that we're hitting the traditional channels, even though it's not as prevalent, obviously, as digital. But print will take place. There'll be newspaper. There'll be a highly engaged PR strategy through the guide specifically. And then also targeted digital magazines for like outdoor enthusiasts or other industry and manufacturing publications. We may also do a billboard, again, in highly placed areas, externally to Warren County, specifically potentially Pittsburgh, Buffalo, at high trafficked areas. We do have a lot of plans for the Warren County website. So again, this isn't a one and done thing. This will be something that, working with our agency that created this, Forest Line Media, we've already strategized how we're going to move forward with that. So starting in January, there will be a monthly blog. It'll have guest writers across the county that'll lend their expertise based on whatever the topic is for the month. Some of the topics include business goal setting, celebrating local makers, artisans, and manufacturers, community celebrations, local tourism, volunteerism, nonprofit, and community impact. We want to make sure that as we move forward, and it's not just about advertising and marketing, it's about content that we're putting out and making sure that we're putting out content that people want to know, learn about, read, and then hopefully dig deeper into that content. We'll also have highly targeted landing pages. So instead of just having an advertisement out there and taking them right to the homepage, we want to make sure that as we're targeting specific audiences, like outdoor enthusiasts, people that are working manufacturing and industry, small business owners, we want to make sure that we're taking them to a page on the website that's highly information about what they're interested in. So from there, it'll have all this information, you know, blog articles, our newsletter, video, other features, so that they can then go to our website and learn more and figure out what that next action is. A virtual newsletter will also start in January. That'll be a bi-monthly virtual newsletter. It'll be housed on our website, and we'll have high calls to action on every single page for people to sign up for the newsletter so that we can make sure that we're capturing everybody and what page they're on. This newsletter will be comprised of Warren Worx initiatives. We want to make sure that we're highlighting the project work that we have going on with our business development and our quality of life subcommittees. We'll have a citizen spotlight video. Through the brand process, we were able to interview over 15 people across Warren County, and we have so much footage and so much great stuff from those people that we want to highlight them now and talk about what their journey's been in Warren County. We'll also reach out to a business and ask to do a business spotlight, whether it's a small business, one of our bigger businesses, and those will be spread across Warren County. There'll also be, you know, like I said, a strong call to action across both the website and all of our social channels. We'll lend ourselves to marketing events, partnerships, and certainly we have to make sure that we have any materials that are going to be needed. And then I couldn't do what I do without partnership with a marketing agency. So again, as we continue to churn more content, as we continue to advertise across multiple channels, I'll still need those assets to continue to be developed, change for audiences and things like that. So we'll also need to make sure that I'm working with an agency to keep the content fresh and all the advertising materials relevant to our audiences.
I'll be one breath.
This is just marketing. So the project work is completely different, but I wanted to make sure that I came in front of you guys today, answered any questions that you have. You know, certainly want to note that as we do or do not get funding, obviously this plan changes. So from that standpoint, again, I know that you guys have the responsibility of seeing kind of what kind of funding that we get. And you know, I respect anything that you give us. I just have to be pretty fluid in what I do moving forward based on the monetary commitments we do have. So.
Thank you. I'm just going to make a comment, and then I'm going to turn it over to the rest of the council for any questions or comments themselves. But, you know, not being a marketing guy myself, but the numbers that we're seeing here are, to me, are pretty astounding in terms of the reach that we're able to have achieved in what I would consider a relatively short amount of time from the launch in September and then full on, you know, in October and November. And as we approach, you know, going all the way back to, you know, the comprehensive plan and the development of a Warren Worx like entity and the strategic marketing component of, you know, what we want to be doing as a city and as a county, we've always approached the Warren Worx idea and these efforts over a multi-year period. And certainly we went through a year of, really detailed and fine-tuned planning to put together a great plan to start implementing. And what we're seeing now is, I think, the fruits of a lot of the labor that, on the upfront time and effort to put into the planning so we could get into the execution mode to achieve the results that we're ultimately trying to accomplish. We see examples, not specific, but ancillary groups that are part of this effort, coming together. And, we've seen recent articles in the newspaper and your daily local concerning, the effect that and what we've been able to achieve as a county through a whole bunch of different organizations. Just looking at the tourism dollars that are being brought into the county and being able to reach and find those target markets out there that are, really discovering, the beauty of Warren County. I think, 100% that, we need to continue to invest in this effort and make it the success that I really think that it's set up to become. Some of these numbers, to me, when you were talking about the streaming video campaign alone, total impressions is 758,431. Total households reached 434,469. To me, coming from a county of 38,000, these are numbers that are just astounding to me. And I think, it's a testament to a lot of hard work in not just on the planning side, but now as we're getting into the execution piece. So those are my comments. And I think, thank you for sharing that with us. I'm going to turn it over to the rest of the council at this point. For any questions, Ms. Flasher?
Yeah, speaking of the streaming videos numbers, they are very astounding. Where are those? Like, what streaming services are we talking about?
So it's like it's through Roku. So it's
Okay.
Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN.
Like mainstream, we're talking.
Yes,
Okay.
they're myriad of who they partner with.
I'm a
Yeah.
big streamer too, and I happen to watch them, and I'm like, I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't looked at Roku in a minute. So
You're not part of it.
Oh, well,
This is just external.
I already love it here. So anyway.
Yeah, there were certain things that I purposely excluded Warren County from because again, in order for me to kind of get real numbers, I wanted to exclude our location.
This is excluding all of Warren.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We don't have to get you to live there.
I know. That's true. That's true. With that being said, I know that I think a few months ago we had talked about is there any eventuality when we look at the impressions, you'll be able to actually see an even further breakdown what's being
Yeah. So working with Forest Line, we're working on specifically it's I haven't discovered it yet through the streaming video, but through social, I've actually put new pixels on the website to actually now track on the website exactly what everyone's doing as they're coming from social. So there will be some more targeted tracking. And like I said, as I can work with agencies specifically on the programmatic display campaigns, you can actually also integrate all your social channels there and almost see a full view of both your social and your programmatic display, because some of the programmatic display vendors will actually use social as well. So I'm trying to figure out and trying to come up with a platform where I can fully see my entire, what the results look like. So
I think that I think it would help not only you as the marketing director, but the unit as a whole of like what's working, what's not working.
Yeah, and that's what this kind of was too. Like what's working, what's not, and some of the Facebook stuff, I let it kind of roll just because it was kind of the first look at what we were doing. But that's the beauty of some of these platforms. You turn off and on as you see fit if something's not working. So will be a lot of what the test and learn will be as well.
Absolutely. And one thing would be cool, this is such a far down the line comment I'm about to make, but like putting little Easter eggs in these campaigns that are external. So if someone comes to like Trails of Jake's Rocks, they come into hopefully Rib Fest when we have that, or Ben Fest, and they say, well, they know what the Easter egg is, and they get like a free drink trip, a meal ticket. I think that would be cool. I don't know what the legalities behind that is, but wouldn't that be something if someone says, I saw the Easter egg and the branding on Roku, and I'm here to get my free hot dog.
Yeah.
I think that would be kind of cool. And you could track that. How many free hot dogs did we give out? Anyway, thank you for that. I'm very glad I asked that because I was
Free drinks.
I said the disclaimer, I don't know about the legality. There's just an idea.
And there's something I do want to know. I did apply for a grant through Google. I haven't heard yet if we're eligible. You truly have to be a nonprofit. And I know that, we're seated underneath the chamber, which is underneath the WCBA, which is a nonprofit organization. So that will help out and alleviate some from the budgetary restrictions and things that we're kind of facing. But it's kind of something that I just put a plug in to see if for some reason we would be able to receive that.
Do they have a timeline on that? Do you know?
I think like 2 weeks, and they did reach out with a question about our application and kind of, I guess, the back end, making sure that we are a nonprofit. So I'm still waiting to hear if we've been accepted or not. So it is a couple weeks timeline. But
that's pretty short in the grant world. I think most of it around the room. No, sometimes it takes years. So that's we're gonna get expedited if you ask me. Thank you. I digress.
Any final questions or comments? Jared, do you have anything? Or
I do.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Jenny, we had talked previously about starting to reach out for additional funding through other municipalities or from other municipalities. Can you please provide an update on where we are with that process?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I have received some correspondence back from other municipalities. Some have asked me to come in and speak, and I've done that to their monthly meeting. Some have pretty much just told me that they don't have the funding. I did, and that's kind of where that lies. I did just present last week at the COG Secretaries meeting. That presentation was about collaboration and certainly teaching them about who we are and what kind of efforts that we're doing across the community. I'm also speaking this week at the township officials event on Friday, again, to spread more awareness about who we are. But unfortunately, Jared, no, I have not gotten any other funding from municipalities or townships.
Any additional questions, Mr. Villela?
That was all at this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Flasher, please.
Any interest in the toolkit itself? Have you had any reach out to you asking for something TA potential of like, how do we start implementing this?
Not so much from them. I've talked to them. My message to them last week was about collaboration and co-branding with us. I do have businesses that have already started implementing the logo. So not only has obviously the chamber have the logo, Superior Tire has it on their website, the Rouse has it on their website, the county has it on their website. I'm trying to think where else I've seen it. But yeah, I'm seeing it places. It's just, I think that they have to understand why. And my why is, let's all speak one voice, promote Warren County. You promote me, I can help promote you. Let's get in front of as many people as we can. And so I'm just continuing to talk to organizations and lend my services. The Bean Bank contacted me and they're going to put it on their packaging for their coffee. So I'm working with them on getting that squared away as well. So I think that hopefully as people start to believe in it, I'm hoping that we can all partner together. And, it can be as simple as putting the logo on your website, and it could be as extensive as putting it everywhere. Like High Ed, they're a huge adapter of the logo. They have it on billboards. They want to tout that they're the first external facing billboard. They're putting the logo on. I'm partnering with them on that the hometown campaign initiative. So they'll have it on all their correspondence as well.
And maybe this would be a great opportunity for our junior council member to get involved in a conversation with you of how can she spread that awareness amongst her peers.
Yeah.
And how maybe we can send like packets with the kids when they go to college and say, don't forget to come back. But that might be an opportunity for you to get involved, I think.
Yeah, that'd be great. We spoke at the Career Center last week to the marketing kids, because that's who's kind of going to be the voices for this campaign. But certainly any help within the high school would be phenomenal.
We're having coffee or dinner soon, so I'll talk to her. Maybe we can arrange a time. So I think that'd be a great way to, as you're aware, we're big on the youth passion. And I think that's it's kind of, again, I think our key to potential future success is obviously you want people to go and get educated. And I know Mr. Cashman is a huge proponent of going out of your hometown, getting your lived experiences, get your skills, and then come back and hone in on them and raise your families here. And I think kind of tapping into these leaving seniors and juniors to say, hey, to come back, I think would be a great way to plant a seed that there's no place like home. I'm done monopolizing this conversation. Okay.
Okay. Mr. Champlin, you have a question?
Quick question on geography. I think what you said was the numbers you reported, they didn't come from Warren or Warren City or Warren County. But do those numbers tell you how many are from Cleveland area, how many from Buffalo? Okay, so
Yes, yeah.
And so if you get a lot in Cleveland, then you'll put more focus there for your.
Yeah,
promotion.
potentially, or those other areas, maybe we'll also hone in on them as well, just to see if we can get an uptick in numbers.
Okay.
But yeah, I will say surprisingly, Cleveland is our second highest.
Highest in the county.
Warren, obviously. So some of the efforts Warren is coming in, like on the website, particularly. Cleveland is the number 2 location that people are coming to. Yeah.
Okay. Any final questions or comments? I have one sort of off topic.
Okay.
When is the home opener for the Lady Dragon basketball?
Our home opener is December 2nd, and it's against Northwestern. So yeah.
All right. Excited about the season coming up, huh?
As am I. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thanks, Jenny. Okay, let me see if I can figure out where we're at. Okay.
6C.
Okay, agenda item 6C. Proposed resolution and agreement for the health officer, Mr. Rossi, please.
Thank you, Mayor Morgan. Pursuant to the Pennsylvania Public Eating and Drinking Place Law, the city retains the services of Jennifer Challingsworth, a Pennsylvania certified health officer beginning in January 2023. 3-year agreement between the city and Ms. Challingsworth will expire on December 31st of this year. Ms. Challingsworth's fees for services to be provided are contained within the proposed agreement. It should be noted that the fees charged by the city to the license holder will be in excess of Ms. Challingsworth's fees in order to offset administrative time and supplies associated with the retail food establishment licensing. City fees will be included in the annual fee resolution to be presented to council in December. Action requested, council's consideration and motion regarding 1, approval of the resolution authorizing the appointment of Jennifer Challingsworth as the City of Warren Health Officer. And 2, approval of the agreement by and between the City of Warren and Jennifer Challingsworth for the performance of the duties of the health officer and retail food establishment inspections. Enclosures included the proposed resolution and the agreement.
Thank you very much. Would anybody in the audience like to address council on this agenda item specifically? Okay, hearing none, I'll turn it over to the council floor for any action or debate.
I make a motion that we approve as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any questions, comment, or debate on this agenda item? Mrs. Leary, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Fleischer?
Yeah.
Mrs. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Backman?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mrs. McCain?
Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Valella?
Yes.
Mayor Wortman?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Great, thank you very much. Agenda item 6D, proposed resolutions, local share account grant applications. Mr. Holtz, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The city intends to apply for local share account grant funding, or better known as LSA, which is made available through the Pennsylvania Resource Development and Gaming Act. The 2 applications total $2 million with no matching funds required. Projects for which applications will be submitted are the following. 1 is the Baby Park Improvement Project and the other is a fire apparatus life cycle renewal and modernization initiative. If awarded, the amounts requested, it is anticipated that the Beatty Park Improvement Project would be fully funded. Although the grant does not require a funding match, or approximately $77,312 in general funds would be required if the city is awarded for the fire truck. Action requested is council's consideration motion regarding the proposed resolutions authorizing the submission of these two applications for the LSA grant funding to be utilized for the above stated projects. Discuss any questions regarding those two proposals.
At this point, I'd like to open it up to the floor to the public. Would anybody like to address council on this agenda item specifically? Hearing none, we'll turn it over to the council floor. Mr. Cashman.
I see that at Beatty and that you're having a proposed pump track, and at one juncture we were talking about that at another location. And so, what's the decision that?
At one time, this is several years ago, when the pump track first came up, there was discussions that was going to go down on the riverfront behind the pump station on that piece of vacant property. We've kind of abandoned that idea for probably 2 or 3 years now. Just seems to make better sense over at Beatty Park. The location over there has some challenges. The last couple grant rounds we've really been at Beatty Park, plus the group Phil was involved with when they put together their initial website. It was for Beatty Park as well, correct? Mm-hmm. So that's what I got on that.
Is there a flooding issue that was a concern there?
We would make it high enough. Obviously, we all know Beatty Park floods. When we redid the basketball court and the tennis court 10 years ago or so, they were built up where they are above the flood. And if we were to be successful on this, we would do the same thing.
Okay. Any additional questions from council? Entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the grant applications as submitted.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second. Any final question, comment, or debate? Ms. Flasher.
I'd like to say a big kudos to city staff. I know these LSA grants are not easy to write and to get information for, so thank you for keeping at it and keeping to try it.
Yeah, the city's applied for
Many.
probably close to 10 of them.
Yeah.
One we did get our $300,000 and change. One for the parking garage we got 3 years ago was a result of this program. That was the only one that we've seen so far, but we keep writing them because they're no match and we're getting good at it, but we'll see how it goes.
Thank you. All right.
We're always looking for fire trucks per day.
Right.
He's expensive.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any final question, comment, or debate? Mrs. Leary, will you please call the roll?
Yes, Ms. Flasher?
Yeah.
Mrs. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Cashman?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mrs. McCain?
Yes.
Mr. Bilala?
Yes.
Mayor Wortman?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Great, thank you very much. Agenda item 6E, proposed agreements, emergency medical services. Chief Krogler, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As council is aware, the city has entered into multiple intermunicipal agreements pertaining to the provision of emergency medical services by the city fire department. These agreements have proven to be beneficial for both parties, and therefore steps have been taken to renew those agreements, which expire on December 31st, 2025. The following municipalities have approved the respective agreements and provided a signed signature page: Broken Straw Township, Cherry Grove Township, Meade Township, and Pine Grove Township. Action requested is council's consideration and a motion regarding the proposed agreements pertaining to EMS. Enclosed, you'll find copies of the four agreements.
Thank you. Would anybody in the audience like to address council on this agenda item specifically tonight? Okay, hearing none, I'll turn it over to the council floor for any action to be taken.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Valella.
I would make a motion that we approve as presented.
Yeah, we have a motion and we have a second. The final question, comment, or debate? I do have a question. So these four are 4 of 10 total. These are the only ones that need to be renewed this year, and there are 6 that are automatically
There are
renewing.
two that are still outstanding, due to the time constraints from their meetings to our meeting today. One was from Youngsville Borough. We had gotten word that it's already been approved on their end. It just, we didn't get a copy of the signature page before your packets went out.
Okay,
And Clarendon Borough, their meeting is tomorrow.
so we would
So we'll
expect to see those in the December meeting.
Yeah.
So that will take it to 6, and then there's 4 that are just gonna roll.
Correct.
To the
Two
next
of-
year.
Two of them have termination dates of the end of next year, and then 2 of them just automatically renew each year unless either party wants to terminate.
Okay. And I'm just gonna make the comment that I think that, you know, the city is doing a fantastic job of being front and center as being part of a solution to a problem that is a serious problem throughout the county. And we as the city are partnering up with 10 municipalities to provide critical EMS services beyond the reach of the city itself, which enables other municipalities to meet their obligation to provide those services for their residents as well. And I commend all the effort on behalf of Chief Krogler, the city staff, and everybody that has a hand in keeping these agreements current to the benefit of the city, the citizens of the county. So, Mr. Cashman, did you want to say something?
I'm just saying that this is a problem, as we know, statewide, as you mentioned a number of times in that, and we are, you know, on the forefront of trying to solve the problem within the county itself, which is, as we all know, has been a problem with volunteer fire departments not being able to man 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you know, there, I believe, a few ambulance services that have gone out of business. And so, you know, these obviously townships have all recognized the problem and have agreed to avail of our services and on our payment terms. It's really good.
Okay, any final questions, comment, or debate? Mrs. Leary, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Flasher?
Yes.
Mrs. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Cashman?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Mrs. McCain?
Yes.
Mr. Valella?
Yes.
Mayor Workman?
Yes,
Motion carries unanimously.
thank you. Agenda item 6F, proposed ordinance amending chapter 296 of the library of the city code. Mrs. Stapleford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Historically, the city has appointed a citizen delegate to serve a 3-year term on the library board. The term of the current delegate expires on December 31, 2025. The Pennsylvania Library Code, as it pertains to library board membership, was recently amended. Upon review of the amended statute, the Warren Library Association Board of Directors determined that it is appropriate to reduce the number of members to be appointed to the board. Except in instances when a municipality provides substantial financial support to a library, it is no longer required that the municipality in which the library is located be afforded a seat on the board. Therefore, as part of the reduction in its membership, the Library Association requested that the city cease to appoint delegates. In consideration of the foregoing, it is recommended that Chapter 296 of the Code of the City of Warren be amended by deleting Section 296-2, City Representation on Board of Directors in its entirety. The action requested is Council's consideration and motion regarding the proposed ordinance deleting Section 296-2, City Representation on the Library Board of Directors in its entirety. And included is the proposed ordinance and Chapter 296 of the Code of the City of Warren.
Thank you. Would anybody in the audience like to address council on this agenda item? Okay, hearing none, I will turn it to the floor.
Have we ever had a problem in appointing a member?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, it just relieves us from that obligation.
Correct. And the library board had been 12 in number, and that was difficult, cumbersome. So they're reducing it to 9, which is not only an odd number, but a little bit easier to manage and get people together.
Make a motion, we approve as submitted.
We have a motion and a second. Any final question, comment, or debate? Mrs. Leary, will you please call the roll?
Sorry, I did not hear who's made the second.
This is second.
Yes.
That is not.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Second,
I would be Mrs. somewhere.
right? But not now.
Ms. Foster,
Yes.
Mrs. Casey,
Yes.
Mr. Cashman,
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert,
Yes.
Mrs. McKay,
Yes.
Mr. Valella,
Yes.
Mayor Workman,
Yes.
motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. Agenda item 6G, proposed agreement, SESAC, the license. Mrs. Stapleford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As discussed at the August 18 council meeting, there are 3 primary music licensing companies, SESAC, ASCAP, and BMI. And there are, actually, there's a 4th one, GMR. Each of these licensing companies represents different artists and has the right to collect licensing fees for the artists that they represent. As requested by council, city staff conducted further research regarding licensing requirements. In my research, I found that Global Music Rights, or GMR, is a 4th licensing company. Attorney David Mitchell of the CDBG law firm was consulted, and his responses are attached. As previously noted, SESAC contacted the city about entering into a licensing agreement for the payment of these fees. The city is eligible for a blanket license at a municipal rate, which is $610 per year. This would cover all music played at all events conducted on city property in regard to artists represented by SESAC. By paying this fee, the city would avoid the potential to have fines levied against it, which can be extensive. An updated SESAC agreement is attached for council's consideration. At this time, it is recommended that the city enter into the licensing agreement with SESAC and continue to review licensing options with ASCAP, BMI, and GMR. The action requested is council's consideration and motion regarding authorization to execute the SESAC licensing agreement as corrected. The agreement that you have states that the agreement is to be governed by the laws of the state of New York. SESAC is currently correcting this to read the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And enclosed is the SESAC music performance license for municipalities, which again would be changed just to change the reference from New York to Pennsylvania. David Mitchell's response and the August 18 fact sheet.
Okay, would anybody like to address council on this agenda item specifically?
Quick question. First, if we spend the $610 an hour for the year, pretty much clear, no artist can come after us, or none of the other agencies can, or is this not comprehensive?
None of the artists that are represented by SESAC can, but the other 3 licensing agencies would approach the city. I don't think they would start by coming after us, but could approach the city to say, you know what, you need to do this for us also.
Now, my second question was, I assume some of the people that perform on city property are pretty much doing it on a voluntary basis. Some of them might be getting paid. Those who are getting paid, would it be appropriate? They're getting paid. They should be covering themselves, getting a fee from them to help cover the $610 expense, where, you know, they're sort of under our umbrella, I guess. And if they're getting paid, why can't they share some of the burden of the expense of the, their protection and our protection from I guess these are copyright infringements or.
There are two things that are relevant. First of all, the artists are supposed to have their own license and their own license agreement and pay their own fees. So that should be taken care of. We don't have the obligation to police that, but that should be taken care of by them. And also, some of the people who perform on city property are not contracted or arranged by the city. So they could be held on city property, but somebody else could be really contracting them with them. They're just using our facility or our property. So I think it would be difficult to do that across the board.
Okay. Would anybody on council have any questions or comment?
The question I would have, the other BMI and ASCAP, I guess it is, we don't have any idea what the licensing fee would be for them at this juncture.
No, I don't know what that is. And I know city staff has been looking into this to some extent, but I also hate to poke the bear, as the saying goes, and call and ask that question, because then they're liable to say, oh, well, since you asked.
So what brought SESAC to us?
I don't know. They somehow contacted the city quite a while ago.
They've contacted us a few times before we decided it was time to contact you guys. We didn't come the first time. We thought for the amount of money as it costs, it's probably better to acquiesce.
Okay, would anybody like to take any action on this agenda item?
Make a motion, we approve as submitted. Pay the fee.
Do we have a motion? Ms. Flasher, second. Any final question, comment, or debate?
I'm sure it's in the budget on a yearly basis now.
$10.
I know, but I'm just, sure we got a budget ready to go. I'm sure there's money there, but remembering it.
Ms. Leary, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Flasher?
Yeah.
Mrs. Casey?
Yes.
Mr. Cashman?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
No.
Mrs. McKay?
Yes.
Mr. Valella?
No.
Mayor Workman?
Yes,
Motion carries with 5 votes in the affirmative.
thank you. Okay, agenda item 6H, establish public hearing date for the 2026 municipal budget. Mrs. Byler, please.
Thank you, Mayor. It is requested that council set Monday, December 8th at 6:00 p.m. as the date and time for the 2026 municipal budget public hearing. This date allows the appropriate public notice to be provided in advance of the hearing and also meets the requirement that the public hearing not be held on the same date as a regular city council meeting. As required, the proposed budget will be available for public viewing in advance of the public hearing. Action requested is council's consideration and motion to establish Monday, December 8th, 2025 at 6:00 p.m. as the date and time for the 2026 municipal budget public hearing.
Thank you very much. Can I get a motion and a second?
Where is the budget being viewed or available?
It will be on the city's website, and then I believe we also post it in the library. Yes, that's correct.
Would anybody in the audience like to address council on this agenda item? Okay, would anybody in council like to take an action?
I make a motion that we set the public hearing for the budget for December 28th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Here in council chambers.
December 8th? You said December 28th.
I'm sorry, 8th.
Okay.
Second.
All right. We have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor vote aye.
Aye.
All those opposed vote nay. That passes unanimously. That seemed to be pretty simple.
Easy peasy.
Okay, paragraph 7, committee updates. Let's not talk about on Worx. We had a good update there. Comprehensive Plan Task Force, Mr. Rossi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Give council an update on some of the events. Currently, the downtown group is running their Sasquatch scavenger hunt. Started on November 1st and it'll run through December 5th. In conjunction with the downtown Christmas parade. Participants get a chance to win 15 prizes, which are donated by 15 of the downtown businesses that are participating. Plus, they get a chance for an overall grand prize. Another event that will be coming up is Small Business Saturday, which this group is hoping to promote, which is on November 29th. They are also working in conjunction with the Chamber for the downtown Christmas parade, which will be held on Friday, December 5th. The overall group has a meeting coming up this Thursday with the Advanced Sign Company for finalizing the contract for the wayfinding signs and kiosks. And the next task force meeting will be held on December 9th at 4:30.
Thank you. So is there a tree lighting ceremony as part of the Christmas parade, or is that a separate event, or is that just?
It's part of the Christmas parade.
Okay.
Generally, the tree is placed down by the fountain at the point.
Right.
And when the parade gets there, the grand marshal of the parade then will light the tree.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if you're referring to the tree at the point or the trees along the Allegheny River Walk, I just clarification, because there's 2 ceremonies that we'll be having.
Or in addition.
In addition to, yes.
Yeah, I'm unaware of the addition to then, I guess.
The addition to the one that Mr. Rossi was mentioning is the tree that's at the point that we've continued to light over the last couple of years. Santa is graciously doing that in another ceremony by the fountain.
Yeah.
But the Allegheny River Walk sign with the iconic Warren wishes you Merry Christmas, behind that we're doing a lighting ceremony as well for the lighted trees that are going behind the river walk sign. So
If you'll see one of those trees, there's one by the old Rexnord Barrenfield now. One example of one.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking, it came up in a conversation with some of the young folks in town that they thought it would be a really great idea to open up the opportunity to decorate or put like community ornaments on the tree. Like the kids, would have an opportunity. I don't know if that could ever be worked in or something to think about. Maybe not for this year or maybe next, but they seem to be pretty excited about.
I'm excited about it. I'm not a child.
Kids showing up with their own ornaments and putting them on, probably the tree that would be close to the fountain there as part of that walk. I don't know. Anyways, something to think about.
I'm writing it down.
Maybe that would be something fun to maybe incorporate if it's possible this year, maybe next, if they have to think it through or whatever, but.
I mean, the DeFreeze kids always, they'll come by and give businesses little cards or, little ornaments, so that might team nicely.
And St. Joe's can come down.
Or, open up, maybe not just at that one specific time, but have it open to, at certain times that different groups might, kids, those are, I think, wonderful ideas.
Be the Warren Christmas, like December 1st and 25th, and just like
some of the preschools or the schools, have an opportunity to come downtown and decorate part of the tree or whatever. I don't know.
It's something worth looking into.
Okay. Appreciate it. Okay. Council of Governments.
So this past meeting, we were here for the budget session, so we were not in attendance. However, I will take this opportunity to talk about the Student Government Day that the Community Engagement Committee, of which I chair, facilitated. My biased opinion, it was very successful. When you have Bucky Knapp leaving grinning in ear to ear saying they had the best day ever. You know, it's been a success. And so we had 67 students from Eisenhower, Warren, TIDU, as well as homeschool. Our junior council member was in attendance, so maybe I'm less biased. I hope she had fun as well. But it was a great event. We had Kathy Rapp in attendance. We've had multiple municipal and borough township in presence there. We had a representative from Senator Hutchinson's office present. It was just a great day of, again, just connecting with youth, giving them a sense of what local government looks like and how it operates, as well as giving them an opportunity to kind of talk through some of their issues that are pertinent to their demographic. And it honestly is, it's an honor to be able to be part of it. For one, I know, Mr. Mayor, you were unable to attend, but we look forward to it going forward next year. And now that this year we did it in the fall versus the spring, it gives us an opportunity to continue to connect with seniors throughout the rest of their school year, to kind of see how their call to actions have played out, and just keep that ball rolling. As I said earlier with the Warren Works presentation, youth is vital to our community, to our prosperity, and to our future, and to give them an opportunity and to empower them it's honestly a privilege. And so I don't know if Mr. Holt or Kyle, you want to expand on that at all. That's COG.
Okay. Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I know that it's been a huge success. This is year 2, right?
Yeah.
I was fortunate to be year 1, and it sounds like year 2 is even better than year 1. So I think it's great momentum to continue to build on. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Riverfront development, Mr. Urisic, is there anything, any update there?
Yes, so we're still waiting to hear on grant awards from the last round of the LSA grant that we submitted on. The CFA, the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Financing Authority, actually has a board meeting tomorrow. Unfortunately, the LSA grants are not on their agenda for the meeting, so it sounds like we're going to be waiting a little bit longer to receive an answer on that one. And also, we'll be waiting on the recently submitted grant to the ARC. GPI has also completed our final review and is making final edits for submittal of the plans to the Fish and Boat Commission. And that should happen sometime around the end of this month.
Excellent, thank you. Go ahead.
At what point are we planning on some more public outreach sessions for the next phase? I know I don't want to kind of get ahead of ourselves. The boat launch hasn't really started yet, but this is just phase 1 of a multiple phase initiative.
So we're planning on beginning of the year, 2026. We should have some updated information in terms of where things are at relative to either grant feedback. Next steps, I would imagine maybe in the December meeting, we're going to be talking about contractors or picking a firm to do the professional renderings of the different areas in total, on taking the public feedback that we've received up to this point, and then using those are the 2 big things that we need to get back to the public. And I think at the beginning of the year 2026 it's going to be the opportune time to do that. So,
and when you say the public, you mean that open comment period we had at the beginning of this year? I think it was at Q1. We did that open.
Repeat that slowly.
The open comment period that we had at the beginning of this year in Q1, you're talking about that feedback is being incorporated. Okay. I'm getting a lot of questions. That's the reason I'm asking. I'm getting a lot of questions of like, what's next? It's cool. We're getting a boat launch. Awesome. But like, there's more than the boat launch. Where do I get my ideas? What do I do? And that, well, we had a comment period, but I think getting another open public session on the books would be really exciting and good. Well,
yep. Plan is early 2026. Good question.
Thanks. It wasn't my question. It was a city resident. Thank you.
Okay. So that rounds out the committee updates. We have the department reports as well. Does anybody at council have any questions for any of the department heads based on their reports? Okay, and we also have approved minutes for boards and commissions. And that leaves us with agenda item 10.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. We have a second.
You don't need it.
Meeting's adjourned.